Level playing field.
Hello and welcome back to Level Playing Field. I'm your host, Greg Westlake. Great coaches can make or break a sport experience for new athletes and push the elite to the next level. They balance fun and work to create a healthy and safe learning environment. It's been called the fastest growing sport in North America. Still very few people know its name, but in the last 5 years, pickleball has taken over gyms, tennis courts, and community centers across Canada. One coach east of Toronto is doing everything in his power to ensure that as the sport grows, it is as inclusive as possible.
So I learned some sport from actually at the Ability Center. I came in, I was walking the track, and I saw it being played, and I'm like, oh, that's very an interesting sport. Then they introduced me to Alex, and then we started talking, and then he's like, would you like to try and play? And I'm like, sure. I sucked at first. I was terrible, but I got hooked.
One of the reasons Amanda Power, who uses a wheelchair, got hooked on pickleball is the simplicity of the sport. Use your paddle to hit the wiffle ball over the net, back to the opponent's side of the court. The other reason she knew pickleball was for her is the coach who runs the program at the Ability Center in Whitby, Ontario.
Nice.
Alex Stoikov. He focuses on the fun and fundamentals when introducing new people to the game.
Pickleball is a combination of a few racket sports. I would mention badminton, table tennis, or tennis. It's played on badminton-sized court. A lot of people are referring to pickleball as mini tennis. It's played in doubles and singles, and the game itself is very easy to pick up.
While it shares similarities with many racket and paddle sports, there is one way it sets itself apart.
The sport itself is probably the most inclusive sport out there. This is probably the only sport that I know where able-bodied players can play with disabled people or people in a wheelchair in the same tournament, and you can't see that very often anywhere else.
Alex, who competed and coached in tennis before moving to pickleball, believes so strongly in the inclusive nature of the sport, he jumped at the opportunity.
You have to move this way a little bit, go over the ball, try to do this topspin, try not to be too stiff.
Mixed ability sport challenges the way we think about sport. So we want to break down the barriers to participation and make sure that people of all ages, abilities, backgrounds have the opportunity to join and participate in sport in mainstream settings. What we want to do is work with existing clubs, facilities, community groups to change their philosophy on sport participation and advocate for people from marginalized communities, for people with disabilities, to have autonomy over where they participate in sport. And the whole concept of this is working towards broader social inclusion. So how do we use sport to show society how we can change for the broader good?
Kelly Casper is the Director of Sport and Recreation at the Ability Center, which partnered with International Mixed Ability Sports to become the exclusive developers and delivery agents for mixed ability sport in Canada. Kelly says a huge part of making this unique model successful is finding the right coach to guide the group.
Yes, perfect shot, each one of them. Yes, nice. Here you go. That's really good. All right, your turn.
Alex is a great coach. I think bringing him into the program changed it overnight. I think having someone that's experienced in the sport to lead player development, to manage gameplay, and he's very versatile in his delivery. So understanding how to keep a high-performance pickleball athlete engaged and involved in drills and competition at the same time as welcoming someone new to the sport and making sure that they understand the rules and how to set them up for success so that they're confident and want to return. I think he's also been a great advocate for para pickleball. So when you're sitting in those spaces, when you've got this comprehensive look at inclusion and really having the needs of your athletes at the center of your decision making, that's where true change happens.
Last four, you did phenomenal.
Like Kelly, Amanda feels lucky to have Alex running the program.
very supportive, very funny. He always makes me laugh no matter what. Even if I'm having a very bad day and it's a pickleball night, he will grab the basket of balls and just start we just start doing smashes every time until I'm basically laughing my butt off and just, okay, we're good to go.
Beautiful.
That's the biggest reward that you can actually get. You see those smiles and people are happy playing pickleball. I mean, what else can you ask for?
Pickleball looks like a lot of fun, and Alex's program at the Ability Center seems like the ideal setting to learn the sport and have a few laughs.